Welcome to today's video. Today it's part 3 of how to crochet this little flower that's done in Irish crochet. In part 1 we looked at how to crochet over padding cord. In part 2, working over the cord, we worked the stem and the 2 leaves, and today we're going to look at how to make this little central part of the flower, which is separate to the petals. It's got a little frill around the edge as well. Okay, so what we need to know first of all is how to make padded rings. This is very common in Irish crochet and they vary in sizes, but the most important thing to do is decide on the size you'll need and to work your thread around something that's fairly uniform. Okay, so today I've chosen an 8mm crochet hook. When you're working with really fine thread, you'll just find that you could even be working over something as tiny as this to make your ring. Okay, so to start with, just lay the thread over the hook and then secure the thread like so, and then just continue working over. Sometimes in the pattern it will say how many times. In this particular pattern it's suggested 30 times because they want you to have quite a thick padded ring, but I think for today we'll just stick with going by eye just while we're practicing. So you'll end up with something like this. So we can do that once more. As long as you secure this little thread, you'll be fine. So just like this, perhaps this way is easier. It doesn't matter which way you go, but just there we go. So you can see now those are coming quite nicely. So it's important you just don't keep them side by side. They need to be over each other just a little. That's clear. There we go. And as this is just a practice, we'll just imagine this is going to be absolutely fine. Okay, so you can see. Now, I think one more time wouldn't go amiss, and this time we'll count. So 1, the first one's there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 looks just like that. Okay, so if we leave it at 15, to get this ring off the hook is the biggest problem many beginner crocheters will, well, people new to Irish crochet will find this quite difficult. But not to worry, there's a little knack that I can share with you that is hold it as gently as you possibly can when you take it off. So it's just nestled between your fingers and you're hardly putting any pressure. It tends to keep its shape. So you just ease it off. Doesn't matter if you've got quite a bit of pressure on it there, just gently ease it off And as you're coming towards the end, just ease up on the pressure, and there you can see those are going absolutely nowhere. Then you take your hook and you pass your hook through the middle. I don't know if I can quite turn around. See, because I'm not pressing it, it's just nestled there with hardly any pressure at all. Just pass your hook through and then bring your fingers down and just secure those threads, and then prepare the yarn in your left hand, and then pinch the base of those circles and do a yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through again, and there they'll be held together quite nicely. You can just ignore that little thread for now. Okay, and now, as we learned before, crocheting over the cord, just crochet over the cord. It's in a circle this time, and just pinch. Do your double crochets or the single in the US like this, and keep them as close together as you can. And you do this all the way round, trying to keep them neatly together. Now, interestingly, for this particular little ring, we are now, the right side is facing us and the wrong side is away from us, but it's the wrong side that we will actually be using to face up from your work, because it's creating a little dome, a more prominent dome on the other side. Perhaps that doesn't make a lot of sense just now, but once we've completed this little ring, it should. The idea is to get the stitches as close together as you can, so they're not going over each other, but as close next to each other as you can manage. So we'll take our hook out and just gently ease those stitches round over the cord. You might need to just, sometimes it's helpful to just do a few and then nudge them round. Okay, and then off we go again. Doing our double crochets over the cord, into the ring and over the cord. The idea as well is that they're not loose. So I think what I'm going to do now is just snip this little piece of the tail end. I'll crochet over that now. Just again nudge them round into the ring, doing your little stitches. And as they get closer together, just check that they're nicely spaced, which is absolutely fine. And then you can do little slip stitch in that final one. You've now completed the little ring. It isn't a very prominent one, but there you go. As you can see, this is the wrong side of the work, but that is standing proud, whereas here it's flat. So to make the little frill around the edge, this pattern suggests doing a total of 9 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we'll just get the pattern again because I can't quite remember. I think I'll go to the original one just to show you how tiny it is, how they've written it. Here we go. So there we go. That's the stalk and the leaves. Right, so now it's on this page underneath a picture of the flower. By winding padding cord thread 30 times over a number 6 mesh. I have to confess, I'm not sure what mesh means in this context. Work double stitch closely into it. Edge the ring thus. 9 chains, miss 1, and then 1 double, which means skip a stitch, 9 chains, skip a stitch, and then double crochet. Repeat all the way around. Okay, off we go. So we've skipped a stitch. We need to skip a stitch now. We've done the 9 chains. Let's see if I can get it in focus. Just give it a few secs to adjust. There we go. So we need to skip 1. In the next one, do a double crochet, single in the US, and again 9 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and again skip 1 in the next one, again 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then miss 1 and into the next one. And that is literally all there is to the central part of this flower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and again skip 1 to the next stitch, making sure you're going over the 2 loops of the stitch are over your hook. I say that because in some patterns you'll go into one, the front or the back of the loop, but in this it's under both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then skip 1, so just to reiterate or to go over. This is the wrong side, you're probably thinking, but we decided that's correct because we need this little ring, the dome part, to be facing upwards. And you can see here, the right side of the stitch is actually here, where you can see the little V's, but that's flat. Okay, so if you continue going around this little ring with the frills and the 9 chains, I will meet you when we get back here. So I'm almost at the end now. So skipping, just check, skipping 1, just there. Double crochet, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we can now do a slip stitch where we first started. Sometimes just bend the little frill or petal back. Just do your slip stitch, and then to finish off, 1 more slip stitch. Then snip the thread and pull it through, secure it, and there you have completed almost this little central part of your flower. Okay, so to fasten that off neatly, I did have a little needle that's, oh, there it is, right, just again, making sure we do get the wrong side. So we need to go through and hide these little stitches. Sorry, hide the thread. Just pop it underneath a couple of these. Don't pull tightly, remember we don't want to alter the shape of things. Then perhaps not going straight into this one, going into the one, just to give it a little more, make it a little bit more secure. And then back down. And of course we're not coming out the other side. Just gently. And then you can just snip that. Okay, and just turn it over and just uncurl those little frills as best you can. And there you have now completed the central part for your little flower. You could block this, but we'll look at doing that on another tutorial. Okay, now if you wanted this little dome here to be more prominent, all you do is go over when you're winding round here more times. So perhaps for this one 30 would look better, but it is personal preference. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed making this today, and I'll see you on the next video where we'll look at how to crochet the actual flower petals. See you soon.